Hello, hello, and welcome to the England Match Report with the Toon Network. I'm Adam, that's Pete, and England have just won 2-1 against Tunisia. We left it late, Pete.
Very late.
Left it really late. And just before we get started, caveat, it's Pete's birthday today. So we're going to have a big round of applause for Pete's birthday. We have been drinking, but that will not impair our judgment on the game. And a lot of the fans, actually, the Toon Network, have been asking where you've been. So if you just want to, you've got the floor, Pete. Where have you been, mate?
Well, I've not been ill, despite my hair. Usually,
put a cap on him.
Usually I wear a hat. So let's get into this.
So, firstly, starting lineup. How did you feel? I was slightly uninspired by a few of the names mentioned. For example, I was slightly uninspired by the fact that Kyle Walker, one of the best right backs I believe in the world at the minute, was playing centre back. By Henderson. Ashley Young was in there, but I understood that, I guess. I don't know. I was very disappointed to see Rashford on the bench. How did you feel about the starting lineup?
I had no reservations about the starting lineup, if I'm honest. Look, it seems ridiculous to say this now, but I kind of trusted Southgate. I didn't trust him. I didn't trust him when he was employed as a temporary manager. I was like, good God, Jesus, what is this? And I'm sure every fan's the same. You're like, oh God, Southgate, what's that? Then go through a qualifying campaign. And yes, of course, England.
But we were picking
up
decent results. But was it too cautious, conservative for what you would have liked, or was that just the only way that we're going to actually get through major tournaments now? That we can't be classed as an elite team anymore. I really believe that. So is being cautious in his approach, his five-man defence, is that the only way that we can progress, I guess, and cause problems?
See, I do genuinely believe that, well, not genuinely believe, that sounds ridiculous, but the idea of the golden generation, which everyone talks about, and all that kind of rubbish, it was like, well, actually, yeah, how they talked about in the press, all that kind of stuff. Okay, well, this was the match where we see whether it comes to fruition, see whether anything actually happens.
Do you believe that, the golden generation?
When we had the likes of Rooney, Owen,
Beckham, Shearer, Lampard, Gerrard, Terry.
Not so much Shearer, I mean that's anyway. But you know what I mean. So thinking about that team, that core of that team, when you had Terry, Ferdinand, Cole, always the classic problem of the left side, which we tried to plug with
Trevor Sinclair, John Cole, Steve McManaman. Yeah,
but I was reasonably positive coming into the World Cup, and so before we get into it too much, well, I'm gonna say,
go for it. The floor is yours.
I'm gonna say straight away.
It's my channel. I get to decide. Birthday rights.
You had an issue with Kyle Walker.
Me?
Yeah. Where he was starting, in fair enough, I get that.
Not that he was starting, just to be clear. That he was playing, basically, he was basically playing centre-back, which is out of position for somebody who was essentially one of the best right-backs. And I feel that Kyle Walker starting as centre-back was simply because of the deficiencies of the other centre-backs. The slow, sluggish, really wide turning circles of the existing centre-backs, the lack of pace. And Walker is in there as almost like a sweeper, I think, as a pacey sweeper who can just be there to pick up the pieces should our other defenders prove their lack of pace, which they kind of did on a couple of occasions. Maguire early on, certainly.
I think look, we're not going to get into the fact that Kyle Walker is a fantastic player. What I want to say is, in what we discussed, is we played better attacking than I've seen an England team play. In fact, I don't know. The finishing was terrible.
It was bull. So obviously, basically the first 5 minutes, we had two very, very good occasions where the first one fell to Lingard, where Dele Alli brilliantly was very intuitive, picked up on some very sluggish Tunisian defending. I think it was Maloul, the left back, who just took an age to get clear. Dele Alli nicked in, and Lingard just tried to sweep it in towards the inside post. It went quite near to the goalkeeper. Keeper made a save, and then he had the other chance where it was Sterling at the back post, and I don't know how he's got his feet so wrong. One of our good friends, Danny, absolutely despises Raheem Sterling, and obviously
well, there was a conversation.
There's a WhatsApp group called Sterling,
yeah.
where Danny basically
and me,
yeah, and the three of us basically, and I, as much as we know what his weaknesses are, but obviously the last year that he's gone through, the goal scoring exploits, the assists, the coaching under Pep Guardiola has seemed to have given him new lease of life, and maybe this is part of his development.
And what I'd said on that group is that, okay, fair enough, Sterling performed. He absolutely performed for certainly the first half of the season.
He's been absolutely incredible for Man City.
And a comment I made was, let's hope he does it for England.
But I was worried that Sterling, he's being coached by Pep Guardiola, but with all the greatest respect in the world to Gareth Southgate, you can't put those coaches in the same bracket at all. And you wonder, under a Southgate system, is he going to give Sterling I think even to give Sterling a free role I think it's concerning, because I think Sterling needs the direction that Pep Guardiola will clearly give him. Well, I don't know that, but seemingly, he wasn't as effective today. But he missed that chance.
So anyway, so getting back to the Kyle Walker thing, this what we had a little bit of an argument with. I think
reasoned debate. I'd like to say
how we started was fantastic.
It was. We were brilliant.
Yes, we missed chances, but we still. But
you felt that we were getting somewhere, that we were causing problems, and they had no answer to it.
Whatever happens now, because Kane got the second, we'll get into Kane, I'm sure. Because Kane got that second, it allowed, for me, Kyle Walker to get away with that.
Yes.
Because had Kyle Walker not done that, Tunisia, what's the stats? How many shots on target did they have?
So Tunisia's only shot on target was the penalty that she scored.
So
six shots, one on target.
So had Kyle Walker not done that, we were confident, we were happy, we were attacking, we were fluid, we were nice. Right. As soon as that happened, quite close to half time, we then came out in the second half, and you had the classic England worry. Horrible. Stress, nervous, everyone watching it.
And suddenly the confidence of those opening...
And that's all because of Kyle Walker doing that.
Let's go back. Let's start from the start. So we had a really good start. We had a corner whipped in, and we had a brilliant leap from, I think it was John Stones. And the goalkeeper, the starting goalkeeper... We mentioned the Sterling miss where he got his feet muddled up and he just unbelievable miss.
It was Lingard.
Unbelievable miss.
Lingard
cross. But the goalkeeper injured his shoulder in that. From a corner a couple of minutes later, ball came over, as you've obviously seen. John Stones powered ahead, a really good header. It was a fantastic connection. And the injured goalkeeper with his injured left arm clawed this header out, obviously straight to Kane. Kane's onside, taps it in from very close range. Absolutely brilliant start. And what we're saying about Kane, the fact that there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders. The fact that as a striker you're judged on goals. World Cups come very few and far between. To be able to get off the mark after 11 minutes in the tournament for Harry Kane. Absolutely huge, and against not even against the worst opposition in the group, and obviously from that point, you think 1-0, we're creating a lot of chances. We have done before. Lingard got in again. He had a deflected shot over. He got in behind the defence and poked past the goalkeeper, hit the post. Obviously, the goalkeeper's changed by this point because basically after the goal, his shoulder's gone, so the sub-goalkeeper's come on. And we looked like there was so much creation, there was so much inventiveness. Dele Alli got a bit of a knock, and you think, well, he's not He's not running around. He's not mobile as much as he's used to. But the first half, we seem to be just we're coasting, but we're missing a lot of chances.
So Adam's talking a lot here, as he tends to do.
My channel.
So comes to the second half. You know, Tunisia came out and actually.
Well, no. Let's talk through the penalty incident, shall we?
Well, no. I want to get past.
No. Well, we haven't really properly mentioned it. So obviously we've alluded to Kyle Walker. What for you was it a penalty? Because for me it was. I saw an arm movement by Kyle Walker that went backwards. I know it was soft, and maybe the player made a lot more of it than he should have done. But for me, even if you look at VAR, there's a movement by Kyle Walker with seemingly no threat, and he does something like that.
Of course, it was a penalty.
Can you explain it?
Of course, it was a penalty.
What's he done there, Pete? What's his thinking?
Okay, so clearly I've got an issue with that incident and with Kyle Walker doing that. Hence why I said that
does that have anything?
ruined all of that early momentum.
Yeah.
Like, for him to do that, whatever the case, whether it was contentious, whether it should have been given up, why on earth did he put England in a position
where the referee has to make a decision
where
like
he has
that?
to make
Exactly.
It was a joke. It was a joke. And what...
Talk us through the penalty. Because I actually...
The penalty itself, I think the penalty was decent. I know you would think Pickford maybe could have saved it.
I thought Pickford chose the right way. It wasn't fully in the corner. And this might be an unpopular opinion, and it's not just because I'm a Geordie and Pickford's a Mackham, but I think, look, when it's a penalty, there's obviously massive odds against the goalkeeper, but the fact that he dived the right way and the fact that the shot wasn't right in the corner, and the fact that Pickford got a bit of a finger to it, I honestly thought he might have done a little bit better, and you know, it's not his fault. For that whole goal, I genuinely blame Walker and nobody else. I think if Pickford saves it, it's a bonus. But I just think once he's there and he gets fingertips to it, it's not right in the corner. I don't know. Maybe he could have done a little bit better, but maybe I'm being picky. Otherwise, I thought Pickford was very assured, and I'm glad that
I think you're being very picky on Pickford.
Picky on Pickford, but I think he's the right goalkeeper to start.
Yeah,
I'm glad that he's starting ahead of Butland. I really am.
Look,
I like him.
I actually don't think he did anything wrong there. I think look, I actually think, was it Sorry or whatever it's called, something like that. Whatever, it's Tunisia. Who are there? What? But whoever...
Sassy,
sorry, whatever. I think he struck it well. At the end, it's a pressure kick.
It's very little backlift as well. He just sort of seemed to take it like a Beppe Signori one step shot, wasn't it? But so for you, what happened in the first half? The pressure, the confidence, the creativity, the chances. Why did that suddenly change for you in the second half? And should Dele Alli, who was clearly injured, have been brought off at half-time? What was your views on that?
Well, I felt he should have been taken off at like 35 minutes, to be honest.
Right, you wouldn't have had him see out the first half?
No, because it was...
a player that potentially could be so important for him.
You felt like he was a spent force. I don't know what it was. He'd obviously not picked up some sort of injury. I don't know, whatever. 20 minutes, something happened to him. He wasn't moving right, and therefore that 35 minutes, when we had at least 50 minutes to go, I would expect, because of injury time, all that kind of stuff. It felt odd that he was on.
But then at half time he was assessed by the medical team, and he went straight back on the pitch, and you think. We all at home can see that he's not the Dele Alli that we know. He's not moving around as easily. I was crying out for Rashford, because Rashford's one of those players that I believe should have been starting, because he has that. We saw against his goal against Costa Rica, was it? Just throughout his career, he's one of those players who can just make something happen out of nothing. He has that just magic potential that we probably saw. The last we saw of this was, I think, Rooney in 2004. He has that star quality, he has that unpredictability, and he has just like I said, the ability to create something out of nothing.
He's got excitement.
Should he really just be an impact sub?
There's an electricity about him, but
Should he not be starting?
Well, okay, but I don't really understand who he would start ahead of.
Dele Alli for me, and before the injury, I think Dele Alli, and I appreciate, so Pete's comment to me during the game when we're chatting was obviously the connection that Dele Alli has with Harry Kane, which could be very important, very vital.
Well, huge. So
that chemistry.
So Dele Alli...
But he's been off form for me.
How old's Dele Alli? 2021,
I think, yeah.
Whatever. And Kane's 24. They're playing at club level. At club level, there's some sort of chemistry there.
Yeah.
If I was Southgate, of course I'm going to have them. Of course I'm going to. I don't understand how you'd bring Rashford in.
So let's put it another way. Do you think Lingard is better than Rashford, technically? Or do you think it's part of the system? And do you think the system is why?
Where Lingard plays.
Okay. No, I'm asking your opinion. Well, so that could be a reason because you feel that it would be an imbalance to the system.
Well, 100%, yeah.
Right. So that's what. Okay.
100%,
no, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. But
so, look, I like Rashford. I do. I really like Rashford.
I like Rashford a lot. I think he can be offering more than just a super sub. I think he looked tidy. But as that second half kind of grew on, do you think, Tunisia grew into it a lot more? They became a lot more confident. We started doing the classic England thing of shutting up.
They grew into it from the moment the second half kicked off. Why do you
think that was?
Because of Kyle Walker.
So weak mentality. One error meant that the whole team didn't play as well as we knew.
Absolutely, that's what I believe, and I think a World Cup happens every 4 years. One mistake like that, which was a massive mistake,
huge mistake.
One mistake like that makes every other player believe that, okay, this is classic England World Cup. And not only that, okay, that we're talking about players. As fans, we're sitting there going, right, here we go, classic. This is classic England World Cup.
Yeah.
Classic. But we were so much better than them, yet because of that, how many instances, look in my lifetime, okay, like Beckham, big one.
Beckham, Sol Campbell,
2-1 up at
Frank
that point.
Lampard, lots of decisions went against us.
We went 2-1 up. 2-2 at that point, but he did that, and we then had to fight that whole second half because of that one decision.
But for looking at the pundits on BBC, and let me just state this now, BBC absolutely shits all over ITV coverage. I despise ITV coverage. I hate it. They always have a fourth pundit who can't fit on the table. That's just an afterthought to me. Poor Gary Neville yesterday. But they all seem to think that the penalty decision was quite soft, and I think that's just an easy excuse. Yeah. It was. Kyle Walker gave the referee a decision to make, and like you said, you felt that the entire team was affected mentality-wise, confidence-wise, by that one error. Tunisia have ended that game with one shot on target. Pickford hasn't made a save, and it took a lot of grinding out. I think when Loftus-Cheek came on, he had a couple of little runs down the right-hand side, but nothing seemed to be clicking. We didn't. Where did that chemistry? Where did that flow go? Where did it disappear to? Because for a large extent, you only had. And it was quite surprising that Sterling was the one that came off, rather than the injured Dele Alli, and he was clearly injured because then he came off again for Rashford. But and Loftus-Cheek came on, but we just seemed to lose that quick attacking, high pressing urgency that had been so successful and dangerous in the first half.
This is confidence.
So it's so powerful then in a competition like the World Cup that
huge.
One error can suddenly just affect the whole team, the whole game plan, and suddenly, and I said this to you around 70, 80 minutes, we don't seem to know what our game plan is since the substitutes came on.
What you actually said from 65 minutes.
Don't embarrass me here.
Was that I guarantee we will not score. I wish I'd put a 1-1 bet on. Now,
because
there was a part of me which is really frustrating. There was a part of me going, I'm gonna make it, and I didn't. So I don't know why I mentioned this. There was a part of me going, right, look, the takeaway tonight, after all this, if England win, you pay for it. If England don't, I pay for it. And
I can live with
and
that.
I didn't do it. And then by about sort of 88 minutes, I was thinking, I'm glad I didn't say that. I'm glad I didn't. And then, yes, in the 91st minute, obviously.
So we looked really dangerous from corners. And I said to you throughout the game, if we're going to score, it's going to be from a corner because we looked dangerous because
you were convinced we weren't going to score.
No, I was convinced we weren't going to score. I really was convinced it was going to end 1-1 because that's how it usually goes.
You wanted to put a bet on. You were devastated.
Yeah, I was devastated because I called 1-1 before the game, and what did I text you? You texted me 2-0 Kane, didn't you? Mm-hmm. And I texted him back 1-1 Marcus Rashford. Obviously that didn't happen.
So neither won.
No, we didn't. But I called 1-1 because I just expected us to fuck up somehow, and we did to an extent. But as much as I said that we wouldn't get actually the winner, what I did say was that corners, we looked dangerous in corners. That looked like our most likely, because we had Maguire, because we have Stones, because we had Kyle Walker to an extent. Because we had those players, that corners seemed to be quite dangerous for us, a big threat at Tunisia. And that's it. And talk us through Kane's winner, that header. What did you say to me? Pete said it was, he saw the replay and he went, that's lush. Oh, that's lush. Was it lush? Tell us how lush it was, Pete.
It was very lush. In fairness, with Kane, we haven't necessarily talked about him too much. But for our captain to score in the 11th minute, it was like, captain and talisman, whatever. For him to score in the 11th minute, I was like, wow, that couldn't have gone better. Ultimately, we probably should have scored twice before that. But for him to score that goal, it was like, okay, nice. This is a nice start. This is a nice start.
And they get a brace, basically, to get a brace. I mean, obviously...
But yeah, but then for him to get then the winner... And it was
so intentional, that flick.
This is the great thing about football, Christ, like without cliches and all that kind of, I'm not going to say the beautiful game. But for us then to go through that penalty, which was horrible, to then go through the second half where actually, I'm sure it wasn't just Adam thinking it, I thought the same, but I wouldn't admit it to him. For us to go through the whole second half thinking, yeah, it's one of them games and it's going to be a 1-1. It's going to be a 1-1. We're going to come away and go, oh, well, we did this right, blah, 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 but we did that wrong.
Can I just say at this point that after we scored, Pete didn't sit down. His two kids were going mental anyway, but Pete did not sit down after we scored. And I said, he'd been up about 15 minutes, so it was about 25 minutes in. And I said, Pete, you're still standing up, mate. And he said, oh no, I want to make it 2. I'll be settled when it's 2-0. You were so tense. And I think we went through very different emotional spectrums actually through that game, because I think I was a bit more, I guess, pessimistic, realist, whatever you want to call it. You were a lot more optimistic. You were a lot more. You felt the tension, I guess, and I didn't feel the tension.
The manner we went up. The manner we made it 1-0 because of the chances we had before.
Yeah,
made me think, right, okay, this is a game for the taking. We've got a second here. This team isn't actually offering anything. Get a second, I'll relax. We'll come away, great win.
He did sit down. He didn't stand for the entirety of the game just to put your minds at rest.
To be honest, as soon as Tunisia scored that penalty, I was like, okay.
Okay, sit down.
I was
sit down.
Negative. I was negative. Negative for about 25 minutes.
You were really feeling the tension.
Yeah.
I mean, do you historically, if you want to tell the viewers, the listeners, have you always been that nervous around England matches or of any tournament, or was it just today? Or
I think as a Newcastle fan, I have very little opportunity to be excited in terms of thinking we are the better team.
Yeah.
We've went through seasons upon seasons where actually we're going to a game thinking, well, if we get any sort of result, then
it's a bonus. It's a bonus, yeah.
So with England, with the World Cup, it comes across every 4 years, and it was like, okay, I still think I don't think we're going to bloody win it, but you've got a chance. You've got a chance against a team like Tunisia, and then against Panama, and then Belgium's irrelevant, and especially and then Germany losing, and
especially in a tournament where all the big favourites are struggling. Yeah. Before today, obviously Belgium put in one of the best performances of the World Cup, albeit against one of the poorest sides in the competition, Panama, who performed miracles to get in ahead of USA, I must say. Before that, you had basically France out of the other 5 favourites to have actually won their opening game, and even that was down to a VAR penalty and a massive deflection for the Pogba goal. So you're thinking, before today, coming into today, you think Belgium and England will be looking at today thinking, the competition is wide open. It's wide open. And as much as I expect Spain to do better, because I thought they played very, very well, I think France will only get better. I think they have an absolutely tremendous squad. Brazil, always a threat, never write off the Brazilians, but coming into these group games, prior to England winning against Tunisia, Belgium put in a 3-0 performance against Panama, as I've just mentioned, and you think, right, we're playing the third best team in the squad on paper. A win would be absolutely huge. We've got the win. We've got a very, very important win. We play a Panama team. We play a Panama team next, who have just been beaten 3-0, who will not be fancying their chances against England, given the amount of. I mean, we ended up getting off 18 shots and 8 on target. Now that's reasonable. I'd like to get our shots on target into double figures. We missed. You look at Stones. You look at a couple of Lingard misses. You look at the Sterling miss. We had chances to put that game to bed 2-0 at half time, and I think they would have struggled, but instead they came out, they played a bit, but you know what, they've surprised everybody, me included. Probably not you, actually. I think you had a lot of optimism, and we ended up getting the winning goal in the end. And Harry Kane, remarkably, in his only World Cup appearances, now has as many World Cup goals as our hero Alan Shearer, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. Obviously helped in large part by the fact we didn't qualify for USA 94, but Harry Kane, the captain, a lot of pressure on his shoulders, has got a brace against Tunisia that has really put England in a very, very strong position to qualify. And I'd like to think that we can beat Panama and go into the final game against Belgium without needing anything.
Yeah, it's like a playoff.
Is it going to be a dead rubber that? I mean, we can't be complacent. Yeah, but we can't be complacent with the fact that Germany have lost their opening game against Mexico. Is it preferable to actually finish second in the group? Well, should we? If we finish second in the group, we might actually get Mexico rather than Germany. Would that be better? Are Germany going to come back into it? Or Germany going to be knocked out?
I don't think that would be the mentality. That wouldn't be the mentality. But realistically, this was planned. We were always going to have this conversation, and at 1-1 we would be having a very different conversation here. And realistically, that he's done it. Kane's done it. Look at, in terms of elite teams, elite players, we've got a situation now where Ronaldo's done it, Lukaku's done it,
Diego Costa's done it,
and now Kane's done it. And we have Kane. He's there.
He's in his peak.
And now he's doing it. He's got now that mentality. You look at Messi. You can never criticise Messi. However, that's in his head. Whatever happens, it's a World Cup. It's in his head. He's missed his penalty. He's got pressure, big pressure. Kane, he had big pressure. Of course he did. He's our captain, but he scored 2. So, if you actually come away from this, which we have, in many ways, couldn't have went better.
So the next game against Panama at home, how do you see that going? Do you think Southgate will make any changes? I mean, I guess it'll come down to maybe if Dele Alli is injured, does Rashford make enough of impact? I mean, he dummied a shot in the 88th minute when he could have had a strike. When
I don't think he did.
He's lacking in confidence slightly. I don't know. After his goal against Costa Rica, you think, lash it in, mate. You literally have the most potential out of the whole squad.
I don't think he'll change. I think the only thing he'll change is Ali, because I don't think Ali's fit now. Would be my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll be Panama?
Yeah. We'll be fine now, in terms of getting to the
Yeah.
next round. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we'll end it there. Thanks very much for listening to and watching an England match report with the Toon Network with Adam and Pete, the elusive Adam and Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the elusive Pete. Not I'm here all the time.
Yeah.
Nice to have you, Pete, and on your birthday as well. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah.
It's starting to rain now. We're outside in Pete's garden. Slight error because there's a lot of electricals that I don't want to get wet, but they are. I've been Adam. That's been Pete. Thanks so much for watching and for listening on the Toon Network. Please subscribe and tell your friends. Share around. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Please make sure you get involved. We'll be doing match reports for the other 2 group games as well, and hopefully beyond into the knockouts.
So anyway,
should we qualify?
From this point on, get in, man.
Come on! England 2-1. We just won. I've been Adam. That's been Pete. Bye-bye.